Hey, hi everyone. I'm sitting here in my kitchen thinking about a lot of things. Just got out of physical therapy. And I had a discussion the other day with another agent. And it was a pretty interesting discussion. We went back and forth. And it was pretty interesting. And so I thought, maybe I should share it. Have a conversation, just share it with you guys. And so our conversation was about who does more work and who should get paid more. The listing agent or the buyer's agent. And why? Right? Like I said, it was a very interesting conversation. And I've been on both sides of that discussion. I've been the listing agent and I've had the opportunity of being the buyer's agent as well. And so I started to think about what I do. Every agent is very different. Every agent works different, does things different, believes in different things. And we don't all agree with one another, and that's fine. That's what the world is supposed to be. You're not supposed to be agreeing with everybody. You're supposed to have your own mind, your own thoughts. And so it was very interesting, and I'm glad that I had the conversation, because I heard points that I had not done, which helped me. And she had heard points that she said that I said a few things that she had not even thought about trying, and she's going to try them now. And so, like I said, it was a great conversation. I love having conversations with other people, with other agents, because I feel that even if you're a seasoned, a new agent or a seasoned agent, you can be learning from one another. Just because you've been in the industry for years doesn't mean that you know everything. And just because you're a new agent doesn't mean that you don't know nothing. So I've always been very open to hear from everyone. And so I'm gonna share with you the two different things that I do in listing or helping you buy a home. And then you let me know what you think. Because remember, the conversation was about who does more work, who should get, that was the first part. Second part was who should get paid more. Okay. And should there be like a special recognition for one or the other? Right? And we're talking about listing agents and buyer's agents. Well, when I have a listing, when I get a listing, I usually go meet with the person in person. Yeah, I have a conversation on the phone with them. But I prefer always meeting in person. One, I get to kind of see your reactions as I'm talking to you. And as I'm asking you questions, we can start to make a connection, a deeper connection with one another. And I can understand more of what it is that your goals are and what it is that you have in mind to do. And also I can actually see your property in person. And yeah, I may give you an estimate value on the phone, but I always tell you, or I text you, because I get a lot of listings that they're always texting me. Or I may tell you that I may also tell you that the estimated value that I just sent to you can change once I see the property. And it changes because, let's say that I'm thinking in my mind, I'm going by what you're telling me on the phone, and you're telling me that, you just made all these renovations and your house is hot diggity dams, it's hot potato. It's great, right? And I get to your house and it's like, really? So once I start walking the property, once I start really looking at your house, listening to what you're explaining about your house, and then I do all the comps and everything, then I give you a value of your house. Now, I know not all of you are gonna agree with it. I know sellers are still thinking that we're in the market of I'm gonna put it the way I want it, and then I'm gonna get more than that too. No. Right now, buyers are negotiating over everything. Okay, especially depending on the area that you're in, and depending on what the house looks like. So no, don't always think that you're gonna have a bidding war and you're gonna create a bidding war and you're gonna get over asking price and all. No. Get that out of your mind. No. So I talk to you on the phone. First step. Second step, I'm coming to you. I'm meeting you in person. Third step, I'm telling you that we got to prepare your house, clean it out, declutter it, do whatever needs to be done before I bring my photographer in to take pictures. The photographer is scheduled once I know that you're ready. I go through the house again and I will tell you, hey, yeah, you're ready. Let's call this photographer. Let's schedule it. Let's do this. I then get you the photographer to come out. He takes all the pictures. It's the same photographer I've been using since I started. David Melendez does all my photography for my real estate business. And so but I have to go by his schedule because he is a Camden firefighter on ladder 1. And so I have to go by his schedule, not by my schedule, not by your schedule. I got to go by his schedule because he may be on call, he may not be on call, and he may be at the fire hall, maybe not. So it all depends. It depends on a lot of things, right? So we do that. Then I start all this marketing. I have to put the house on the MLS. I got to create a description, all of those things, so that the public knows that your house is for sale. It's listed, right? I may even publish it in some magazines, depending on what house I have. Publish it in magazines or put some flyers out somewhere. A lot of the houses that I get are usually countryside houses from Violin or Hamilton or Millville. So I usually take my flyers and I give them actually out to the people at Tractor Supply. It's the weirdest places. You think it's like, what are you doing? No, you don't know. I had a Violin house once listed, and the buyer I actually found at Home Depot parking lot. I sure did. I was giving out flyers about the home that I just listed, and I gave it to this person, not knowing that this person was actually looking for a home. And he actually didn't. He turned out that he didn't buy that house. But I kept him as a buyer. He hired me as his realtor, and I got him another home in Violin. So when you think that you're doing one job, you may be doing two other. Because I was there at Home Depot I was picking up stuff for a certificate of occupancy that I was doing somewhere else. And I needed to go to Home Depot because I usually buy the fire extinguisher, the smoke detector, the carbon monoxides. I pay for that. And me and my husband will go and we'll install it in the house that you're about to buy. So I was there for that. I happened to have a few flyers in the car, and I started to give them out. And so that's how I got to him, right? Now, he got interested in the listing, but he ended up buying something else, hiring me as a buyer, his buyer's agent, and bought something else. So I'm going to Home Depot for one reason, and I turned out and did two other things. So you can't just go with a mindset that you're just going to do one thing. So like we're talking today, who does more work? Is it the listing agent or is it the buyer's agent? Who should get paid more? Is it the listing agent or the buyer's agent? And should there be like a special recognition or something for the buyer's agent or the listing agent? That's what the conversation is today. Don Emilio, ¿cómo está usted? And so I went there for that. So I put flyers in the weirdest places. You would think nobody's going to pay attention. Listen, I put flyers in Tractor Supply. There's like a bulletin board in most of the Tractor Supplies that I've been to. There's like a bulletin board when you're going towards the bathrooms. And my husband's seen the bulletin board and he was like, hey, babe, there's a bulletin board back there. Maybe you should pin some of those flyers up there. And I'm like, nah, nobody's going to look. Nobody's going to. And he was like, you don't know that. You don't know that. Go put some back there. And I did. I put 4 flyers back there. When I came back the next day, I think, or a day after, there was only 1 flyer left. All the other ones had gone. If I would have had more flyers in the car, I probably would have pinned them back up. But I didn't because I didn't think that they were going to take them. I didn't think that it would have been interested. But they did. I asked the worker there if they had thrown the flyers away because I thought maybe they just took them and threw them away. But she said, no, people have been walking out with them. And I was like, oh, okay. It works for me. So I will do that. I will go publicly, not only on the MLS, but I will also put it on all my social media. And as you know, I'm on all social media. Y'all sick and tired of me. I know you are because I'm everywhere. People are like, I seen you on this one. I seen you on this one. Yeah, I know because I'm on all of them. Because you just never know. And the very interesting part of that is that not on all my social media, people think, oh, then you have all the same people on all your social media. I actually don't. No. Very few people that are on my Facebook will follow me over to Instagram or any other thing that I have. Very few people. I don't have a lot of people that crisscross on my social media. No, I have different people. So I make sure that I put the posting of whatever house I'm selling on all of them. Because you just never know. Hola, Mari, ¿cómo estás? So that's another thing that I do. Then, going back to the photography, I'm interested. I've not done it yet. My photographer did ask me a few times if I wanted to do it. I don't know. I was kind of weary about it because he wants to fly his drone, right? And I know. Hi Terry, how are you? I know a lot of agents, they do all these fancy things with a drone, and they let their photographers put the drone in through the house and all that stuff. I don't know, maybe it's just old school for me. I don't know. But I get worried about, well, how about if you're flying that drone through this person's house that has given me, hello, Ronald, how are you? Has given me the responsibility of taking care of their home, watching over their home, selling their home, you're flying this drone through their house and you crashed into something and you break it. Now I'm responsible. Hola, Lucrecia. I have to call you. I know. I haven't forgotten. Just a lot of things going on with my knee, but I have to call you so that we can start going out and get you that investment property that you're looking for. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm here with my coffee and we're just talking about who does more work, listing agents or buyer's agents? Who should get paid more, buyer's agents or listing agents? And should there be like a special recognition or something for one or the other? Okay, that's the conversation today. And if you want to chime in and tell me something that you've gone through and you think one way or the other, let me know. Terry, you're an agent, so you chime in, girl. I needed that coffee. So, I'm on the fence about the drone through the house, because it's not that I don't trust him. I do. I trust my photographer a great deal, but I'm entrusted with this home and I don't want to break anything in it. So, I'm very, very cautious. So, but I might be trying that. I don't know. I'm still thinking. I do the drone shots. I do allow him to do the drone shots. Listen. I need it. I do the drone shots from outside because I want you to see exactly how big your property that you're buying is. So I do that. So that's some of the work. But once it's listed, then you have to attend to showing time. And showing time is you have to schedule all these appointments. You have to confirm these appointments. When the buyer's agents ask you for a showing appointment, then you have to approve it or disapprove it, confirm it or decline, or give the buyer's agent another option, another day and time that may be better for the sellers, right? Now, however, I have had sellers since the first seller that I got. Since the first seller that I got, each seller that I has hired me has always told me, I want to be informed before you confirm that buyer to come in to see my house. I want to be told, and I want to be the one confirming it. And I'm like, okay, no problem. They don't want to control the showing time themselves. They want me to control that, but they want me to inform them, and then they will think about it and then tell me. Those are the kind of sellers that I've had. It's been fun. It's been fun. And then, so you have that part. There's also the part that I do, which I like. I like doing, and I don't know if any other agents do it, but I do it and it works for me. I will set a 1 day apart, and I will personally show you the home. To all those buyers that do not have an agent and are interested in buying this home, then I will set a date and I will stay at the property the whole day if it needs be, the whole day, and it'll be, I don't know, 6, 7 showings, and it'll be one after the other. And I continuously stay in the house, make sure that the house is clean, make sure that the house is prepared, make sure that nothing's out of place. And they come through, and I'll show the house for a whole day. I don't always do that more than once. I've only done it, I only do it once. The rest of the time is through showing time. I also I also allow you to come to an open house that I do. Sometimes I may do one open house. Sometimes I may do 2 open houses. And there's been times that I don't do any. There's been times, hello, Silvia, ¿cómo estás? There's been times that I don't do any open houses, none. And that's all depending on what the seller tells me to do. So the seller tells me, yeah, it's okay to do an open house. Yes, I trust people coming in here. Whatever instructions they give me, yeah, I'll do an open house. But there's been a few people. I had one lady that really was just adamant about, no, I don't want people in an open house. That's going to be too many people. You can't watch all of them. My son has, all these electronics in his room. They're going to be stealing them and touching them. And she just was adamant about no. So we literally did no open house at her house. None. So that's another thing. Before I go forward, I'm going to go back a little bit, just a little bit. Before I take pictures, remember I said that I'll walk through the house and I'll let you know if there's any little, perks that you need to take care of before we take those pictures. If it's something that needs to be fixed and it's a minor fixing, usually my husband will go and he'll offer himself, because my husband used to work construction for many, many, many years. Now he's a truck driver, but for many, many years he used to do construction. And he'll offer himself to fix whatever it is. So I'm hands-on. If something needs to be painted and you don't have the time to be painting it, I'll paint it. I'll go in there and paint it. I'll get it ready. You want it sold, right? Let's do this. You want something cleaned out? I don't know. You got a hoarder's house. I've done hoarder's houses. Trust me, I've done hoarder's houses. You need help getting rid of the stuff that's in the house. You don't know where to start. Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. This is too much and whatever. No problem. You tell me and I will do it. I will do it. And I'll go in there and I will clean out the house. I had no problem with that. I paid for the dumpster. Dumpster came. It was delivered that morning, and that afternoon they came back and picked it up. Whatever needs to be done. So that's more of the stuff that as a listing agent I do. Again. And Terry's here. She was a listing agent as well. Not all realtors work the same. Not all realtors do what I'm saying. So don't think and assume that everybody that you go talk to is going to do what I just said. And just because you bring it up to them doesn't mean that they're going to be willing to do it anyway. So everybody's different, and you can't be angry at that. Everybody works different. Everybody has different work ethics. Everybody has, different ways of thinking. So you have to go to who you think will suit you best. Okay? So then we go into all the contracts, because then you're getting offers. So you have to review these offers. You have to review the offers with your sellers. You have to explain each one, because sometimes sellers understand all of that. But if it's their first time ever selling a house, they don't know what you're talking. They don't know what you're saying. They don't give them a piece of paper here. That was the first offer. This is the second offer. This is no. Set a meeting up. Tell them, hey, can I come on Friday? On Friday, let's review. These are the first sets of offers that you have received. Let me explain. And you set up a meeting, you sit there and you go one by one and you explain it to them. There are sellers that understand absolutely everything that's written on that offer. So you don't have to explain it to them, but there's other ones that don't. So you have to explain it to them. Hello, Carmen. So, aquí tomando café y bochinchando, tú sabes. Chisme, chisme. A speciality. And so that's some of the stuff that's done. Then you have to go through the contracts. Then you have to go through the home inspections. You have to prepare your house for any inspections. If you're going to do any of the repairs, from the home inspection, the city inspection, the lender inspection, there's 3 inspections. If you, the seller, are going to take on these things, I know, bochinchosa, tú sabes cómo soy yo, you know. I like all storytelling and all that craziness. If you, as the seller, are going to take on all these repairs, don't get frustrated when you start getting a list of repairs, because there are some buyers. See, I'm going to talk to you about my buyers in a minute. But I prefer to stick to things that are not cosmetics. The color of the house, I don't want to hear about it. The color on the wall, no. The color of a cabinet, no. Oh, but the stove doesn't match my refrigerator, no. I want to hear a repair list about electrics, the electrical panel, plumbing. You know, those are major things. The roof, the heating and the air conditioning, those are major things. Those are the things that you should always focus on. Okay? Not, oh, that's not the right color in the house. Well, make it your own when you move in. Make it your own. Hello, Kay. How are you? Make it your own when you move in. So if, as a seller, you're going to take on these 3 repair lists, home inspection, city inspection, that means for your certificate of occupancy, for the buyer's certificate of occupancy, and lender inspections, then you need to be prepared to be receiving these lists of requests. It may be that the appraiser came and said, the house is valued for more, but I need you to fix the back steps because there's 2 back steps that are loose. Well, you have to go fix it because you agreed that you would fix those repairs, those requests that the buyer was going to send you. You agreed to that. So now you got to go do it. You don't want to do it? You tell me and my husband will take care of it. That's easy. That's simple. We'll take care of it. Then there's all the transaction from the time that you go under contract to the time that you close. There's a million papers and documents and all sorts of things that the title company and the lender is going to be asking of everybody. And I need to make sure that I keep on top of all of that. So it's a list, and that's just some things that I mentioned. Okay? That's just some things that I mentioned. I literally have a list of things. What does a realtor do for sellers? And I wrote down things that I do for my sellers. I do this all the time. Everybody that knows me knows this is how I work. This is how I work. This is how I do any business that I'm doing. Once I started, I want to continuously do it the same way, especially if it's working. Now, if it needs improvement, you best believe I'm going to sit here and I'm going to improve whatever needs to be improved. Because if another listing agent, another agent, period, comes to me and tells me, B, but maybe you should add this, or maybe that isn't going to work, you should do it this way, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change this. What number is it? Which one you want me to change? Because if I think it's going to be improved, it's going to make my business grow and get better and help my sellers, I'm changing it. I'm changing. But policies and procedures, even for your life, you should have policies and procedures. You should know you're raising kids. Okay, they come home from school. My kids example. They came home from school. They ain't go play. Cartoons? No, mijo, no. You better sit your little behind over there in the dining room table and you better do this homework. I will check the homework. If it is properly done, then you can go play, you can go see TV, you can play your video game, whatever. But until then, you are not doing nothing. No, ma'am. No, sir. Siéntate. Have a seat. Have 2 seats if you want to, but you're going to do this homework first. Because you're not going to wait till 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night and tell me, hey, Mom, I have homework. Okay? No. Then you're going to take a bath because you're going to get the nastiness of that school off of you, and then you're going to come eat. And by 8 o'clock, my kids were sleeping. Or at least they were in the room, in their beds, ready to go to sleep. That's a policy and procedure. In your mind, you don't have to write it down, but it's a policy and procedure, it's structure, it's discipline. And that discipline and that structure, you start teaching your child from they are little. When they grow up, they don't have problems being at work with policies and procedures because they're used to it. They know how the world works. But if you don't teach them any of that, they get to work and they're like, my boss is breaking my head. He bothering me again. And he's so strict. And I hate this job. No, ma'am. That's how the world works. That's what you got to do. So I do it in my business. And I do all of these things or some of these things. It literally depends on the listing. And it literally depends on what the seller wants you to do and doesn't want you to do. Okay? So that's the selling side. I even have a booklet that I made. It's actually binded. This is actually the original. And I go every year and I change it. Like this year, I think I changed the picture and a few pages inside. But I change it depending on what I'm doing, what's happening in the market, and all that stuff. All that good stuff goes in there. Now, you heard what I do for some of the stuff that I do for listing, right? Oh, and you have to put a sign up in front of the house if they let you and all that stuff. All that good stuff. Lockbox at the door, right? So that's a lot of work already. All the stuff that I told you. That's a lot of work. But now buyer's agent. Buyer's agent, I start the same way. I get the lead. I ask the person if they have been pre-approved already for a mortgage, if they have not been approved, or if they're buying cash. I ask them that. And if they tell me, no, I haven't been pre-approved, but I want to get a mortgage loan, then I refer them to somebody. Now, everybody thinks that I send everybody to one person. I do not. I do not. Does this one person end up getting the work? Yes. But no, I don't give the buyer one person's number. No, that's not how I work. Now, unless you are a Hispanic Latino, then I give you that one person's number. But if you're not, I may give you 2 or 3 numbers. I will give you Vince, I will give you Alex, and I will give you Crystal. Those 3 numbers. You pick. Whoever you want to call, you just pick. Usually my Latinos and my Hispanic community, my buyers, I give them one number, and that's Vince. Because he's bilingual. He's Mexican. Everybody thinks he's Irish or something, or Italian or something. He's not. No. He's a little Mexicanito. With red hair. And white little skin. That's it. But he's Mexican. So he knows Spanish. And he will explain everything to you step by step, which is what I like. I don't like lenders that rush to get you pre-approved and they don't ask you questions, they don't check nothing, and then it's a hot mess when you start putting offers in. I don't like doing that. No. So the lenders that I work with, they know I want them to be pre-approved, and I want you to make sure that you've already got their documents. I do. It's just faster. It's better. I'd rather that you wait a few days to get pre-approved, properly pre-approved, and not that you get a letter, bring it to me, and then down the road we're in some trouble. I don't want to do that. No. So sorry, but I move a lot because my leg starts to bother me, so I have to move around. So sorry. So they call me, I give them the information. Once they get pre-approved, I get the letter. I ask the lender, what is the limit to the taxes, annual taxes that I should be looking for? And then I start looking for the homes that you're interested in. And I start sending you links. You start picking which ones you want to see. On Wednesday, I am already making a schedule for Saturday and Sunday. I show houses on Saturday and Sunday, all day, all night sometimes. I've been out as late as, I think the latest one that I did was maybe 10 o'clock. And it was a vacant property, and they approved it. And I think it was like 10 o'clock. And it was oh my God, there was a storm. I got caught in that storm because that buyer refused to give up on looking for a home. And so we were out there in the storm looking for a home. And the latest that I've shown is 10 o'clock at night. Not that I like doing that. No, Beatrice don't like doing that. But if that's what needs to be done, okay. During the week, very seldom do I show houses because most of my buyers work. Hey, Michelle, how are you, Mama? Hi, good morning. Did you have your coffee or your tea? Because I'm having mine. And then we're storytelling and talking and bragging. Okay, so you can join in, girl. No, it's not. At 10 o'clock, I will admit, I'm going to admit, Michelle, you're going to kill me, girl. No. I did a showing at the listing that I have right now in Millville. And the first showing was, I think, 6 o'clock. The next showing was like at 7:30. And the last one was at 8. The 7:30 actually came earlier, which was perfect. And then at 8. And I thought 8 is good. On the weekends, I take Tony with me. On the weekdays, he can't go with me, so I go by myself. Which is why I don't particularly like doing them on the weekdays. But I did, Michelle. And at 8:30, I get a text from someone I don't know telling me, asking me, hey, I just saw your listing. I'm interested in coming through. When can I see it? Stupid me. I said, well, I'm here now. Why don't you come? It was 8:45. The person tells me I'll be there by 9:15. I should have said no, right? Yeah, Beatrice said yes. And Beatrice stayed. Annette, hello. And Beatrice stayed. Bendiciones, amor, ¿cómo estás? And they got there at 10. Well, let me tell you about this Millville listing that I got. This Millville listing that I got is in the woods. Michelle, I need to pick you up. No, you need to come over here, girl, so I can take you right out there to the Millville house. And you're gonna backslap me when you see. Look at your face. I knew you were gonna get mad. I knew you were gonna get mad, girl. So I stayed waiting for these strangers at 10 o'clock at night in the woods. The driveway is long as I don't know what. You go through this long driveway that's all woods, trees lined up on both sides everywhere, right? And you get to the end, ooh, it opens up. There's the house for close to 4,000 square feet of a house. Don't hang up on me, please. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what the heck did I just do? Well, I didn't know what the heck to do because it was dark as... It's dark back there. It's dark. All right. So I turned... I know. Listen. I know. No, don't call me later. No. I know why you're going to call me later. No, we ain't doing that, girl. No pow. No slipper, no chancla. No. Listen to me, Linda. Listen. I had Vince on the phone. And he said, you better leave me on speaker so I could hear everything that's going on. And I was like, don't hang up. He was like, I'm not going to hang up. But you don't hang up either. Just put me on the counter and let me listen to everything that's going on. So I did. I put it in my pocket. Instead of the counter, I put it in my pocket. And I walked around with Vince in my pocket. And I met this couple. They actually turned out that they were interested. Unfortunately, what they offered is not what my sellers wanted. So they didn't get the house. I will never do that again. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is don't ask me to meet any buyers at 10 o'clock at night in no woods. No, not doing it. Beatrice is crazy sometimes, but not stupid. Twice. But yeah, what I said. So that is some of the stuff that I do for buyers, right? But then, you do the showings, you got to prepare offers, you got to go through contracts again. Oh, and then you have, as the buyer's agent, you have to be at the home inspection. You should be at every single home inspection. You should be at every single home inspection. Yes. Because one, it makes it easier to explain to the buyers. When you're getting the information directly from the inspector, you're seeing what it is, and then you can relay to the buyers. Instead of them getting 53 pages of a report. You should see how big some of these reports come. You'd be like, what the heck? Yeah, some of these reports are like 50, 60 pages, and you see something like that, you're like, this house is breaking apart, falling apart. I'm not buying this. And a lot of deals will fall apart if you don't know how to explain that home inspection. I've been lucky that one, my eyes are itching today. I've been lucky because one, I understand a lot of stuff that has to do with, renovations and fixing and stuff like that. Michelle knows I fix anything. I'll do anything. But I've been lucky because my husband's background. If I don't understand something about the section on electrical, right? It'll say electrical. That's the whole section of electrical. I'll say, hey, can you read these pages for me and let me know what it is that's going on? And he'll read it. He'll look at the diagrams. He'll look at the pictures. He'll read the whole thing. And then he'll come over and he'll just explain it to me. If it sounds easy, if it sounds simple, I just go and explain it to the buyer. If it's something that's major, that's crazy, that needs to be done, that he's like, this could cause a fire. You need to get this done now before closing. Or he will tell me those things. And so I'll tell my buyer. But I don't allow my buyers to lose the home that they're looking at for something simple that can be fixed pretty quickly, right? Sorry. So those are some of the things that I do for buyers. And again, everybody works different. Every agent works different. Every agent has their own procedures and policies and rules and regulations of their own company. We hang our license. I hang my license at Keller Williams. That's where my home is, right? But my business is Come On Home Real Estate. That's owned and operated by Beatrice, by Beatrice. Okay? But my license has to be hung with Keller Williams because they have to be my broker. They have to be almost like my boss. Okay? But I am the jefe in charge of my own company. And so I have to have my own policies and procedures, and I have to have my own rules and regulations, because if not, then what are you're running amok, right? So who do you think works harder, and who do you think should get paid more? I don't know, because I've been on both sides. And sometimes I do a lot of work for a seller, and I don't do a whole lot of work for a buyer, or that would be a lie, wait, because yeah, my buyers, I do a lot of work for my buyers. I ain't gonna lie. I do a lot of work for my buyers. I do a lot of work for my sellers. I do. Right now, the Millville house, very quickly before I go, and think about all that. And let me know what you think, if it's seller's agent or buyer's agent that does more work or should get paid more, okay? This Millville house is it's still for sale. I did convince my sellers that they had to lower the price. It is at the price that it is right now, $450, because they have to, when you sell your house, if there's a mortgage, you still owe that mortgage. So you have to cover that mortgage. And if you took out another, you've refinanced it, or you took another mortgage out or something, you gotta make sure you make enough money to pay all that. So they have a mortgage and two other liens. A mortgage is one lien, and then these other two liens that they took out, refinanced the house. And so they need to have that amount. So I convinced them to bring it down to the $450. Yes, the house needs a new septic. Yes. And I say it publicly because it's public information. The house needs a new septic. It's also public information because I'm sure a lot of agents that have gone to this property have already shared it with others, that there's a bathroom on the first floor that the owner's son started to renovate and unfortunately did not finish renovating. He also started renovating the entertainment room next to the kitchen, and he did not finish that. The owners of this home are elder, over 70, and the mother got sick, like seriously sick, and they had to move back to Pennsylvania. So that's why the house is vacant, and that's why those two rooms are the way they are. When you go see the house, you'll see. It's not done, okay? It's not that it's major. The entertainment room needs the ceiling and needs a floor. Either you put tiles or you put rug. I don't know. It's your house. pick and choose what you want to put on there. I don't know. And then the bathroom is just the shower needs to be finished. And then you need to finish caulking the tiles. But again, she got sick and they all decided we need to go back to Pennsylvania where all her physicians are, where all her surgeons are, where all her medical attention is, and she'll be more safe there. And so they left. And so I have the key. I have to go there. I have to turn on lights, turn off lights. I have to clean the house. I have to make sure that the house is safe and locked. After every single showing, I have to go over there. I don't live near Millville. I live literally 49 minutes from Millville. But after a day of showing houses, I make sure of buyers going into there. I go in there and I make sure all the lights are off and all the doors are locked and windows are locked. And I take a walk around the 4 acres just to make sure that, nothing has been taken. Nobody's squatting in there because it is a vacant property. And so I take what you put me to do, what you hire me to do, I take very seriously. I joke a lot. Hey, Camille, I joke a lot. I laugh. I make fun of things. It's just who I am. But when I'm working, I take things very seriously. Extremely serious. Michelle knows. So let me know who you think works harder. Me or me? Right. Thank you, Camille. Thank you, babes. I do. But you know that I do that. I take it seriously, everything I do. It's just, there's a time, my mom and dad, especially my dad, always said, Nana, there's a time for playing and there's a time to be serious. And when you're working, you should always be serious because in that way people can take you seriously and you'll get where you want to get. And so I do. I play around, I joke around. I become almost friends of my clients. I have a buyer right now that calls me familia, and I love it. I love it. It's so amazing. It's such an amazing feeling to know that you were hired to do a job and all of a sudden you're part of their family. You're part of their friends list. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because that means that you did your job. That means that you changed their lives, and I did. And him and his wife and his son are very, very grateful for what I did. And so they're the ones that gave me the mug that says sold by Beatrice. And they tell everybody that I'm their number one from now on. Everyone, I have known her for so many years and she is very passionate and serious and she will assist you with everything you need. Thank you, Camille. Thank you for that. I really appreciate those words. But yeah, you know me for a long time. We used to do modeling together, plus size models, right? That's how we met. And Camille used to be almost my secret cheerleader because I used to doubt myself a lot. And Camille would tell me, "What are you talking about? That picture is gorgeous." What? And I always found flaws. I don't know why I do that. It's just me. I don't know. I used to find flaws on my pictures and she'd be like, "Girl, stop. Oh, girl, look at that one and this and that." And she was always supporting me and I was always supporting her. Just like Sassy, just like Michelle. Since the day I met Michelle, I'm her secret cheerleader in whatever she's doing. I may not appear at her events. I may not do really a lot of stuff that I wish I had time to do, but I really believe in what she's doing, which is helping women come out of domestic violence, be winners, not just survivors, but be winners. And I like what she's doing with these women, and I like how she inspires them and how she helps them, and I like all the events that she does. Unfortunately, I have not been able to go because of my schedule. And then lately, because of the surgery, But she knows I'm like right there for her all the time. And so, to all of you that constantly support me and that constantly tell me, great job, thank you. You understand me? Thank you. I really, really, really appreciate that. And to all of you that have been sending me referrals, let me tell you, I have them with the lenders. A lot of them were just not ready yet. But I do appreciate you sending me those referrals, because that means that you believe in me and you believe in what I do, and you know that I can get it done. You know that I can get the job done. So I really, really appreciate you sending me those referrals, and I want you to continue sending me all those referrals. I don't care how big, how small, I don't care. Just send them to me. I will sort it out when I get it. Okay? But the ones that I have received thus far, they're working with the lender because they're just not ready. Either credit, or they owe something that's really big and needs to be fixed or paid off or something. Whatever it is, they are working with the lender. So as soon as they are ready, I'm be ready too. Okay? So you guys, thank you for always being here, for always interacting with me, and for always supporting my business. Come on home, real estate. I love you, and you have a good day. 856-676-4046.